Alright everybody, I'm making this video kind of showing how our loot system's going to work in Burning Crusade. Sorry if you hear a dog whining in the background. He's just a very large German Shepherd. He's a big crybaby, because that's what you're hearing. So this is, you go to that'smybest.com and you would sign in here with the Discord. Good, sorry for the flashbang. Okay, well, I've signed in before, so this is what this is an old guild. I think this was my alt guild, whatever I made in Burning Crusade back in the day. This is my Discord that I made years ago playing different games and stuff. But so this would be the guild. The guild name would be here likely, uh, and you would select that. Or it would be here. You would create a character. I made some characters and stuff to make loot to show kind of things how it worked. So let's just click on Rosen. I already had a wish list here, but we're going to change that up. So is you actually, you know what? We're going to go to the thing. Create character. Let's go with, I don't know why I don't have something off the top of my head. We'll do the same character I did a minute ago. You saw down below. All right, whatever. Guild member. Oh, okay. No, this assigns it to me. This assigns it. This makes this. I make this character, and it assigns it to me. That's my on my account on here. Class. We'll go with Druid, role, DPS, spec, balance. So you kind of just make your character here what they are. It's already gonna be level 70. You can put your race in here. I'm not sure that it matters, but I mean, may as well. Main raid group, Elf Killer Gloves, Elf Feet Picks. General raid groups, we'll probably have other raid groups here for like Karazhan and stuff. So once we've figured out our Karazhan teams, you can select your Karazhan team. And then that's it. Okay, this is this character. You can put your professions in if you want. You can put in notes if you want. And you can, if it's an alt, you can select alt. But then you would save. Here's Kepley. Part of the raid team, Elf Killer Loves Elf Beat Picks. And there's nothing else. You don't see I have any prize. I don't have a wish list. No loot received. No recipe. You can put recipes. If you win a recipe in a raid, you can come in here and put it on here, which is a big deal because then people don't have to ask in guild chat who can do what. They can just come to That's My Bis, where all their loot and all that is handled, and look at the recipes and see who has what. So then I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go to wish list and loot. And then here's wish list number 1. And you just start typing the loot. Personally, I would go to, well, I'll just do it now. Wowhead.com/classic. TBC because it's TBC. Classes, well, I didn't say Restoration Druid. Balance Druid. And then Bis Gear. Yep, y'all know how to do this, I know. Phase 1, Bis. Okay. Here we go. Okay, we got tailoring, pauldron. Oh, okay, tier 4. That's pauldrons of the fallen champion. I'm just gonna start typing scrap. Staff of mysteries. Like that on its head, you know. Okay, so then you start. You see how it works. You put it in, it comes down here, uh, and then once you got all your bits in here, you can order it the order you want it. Pretty simple. Now, you might think, well, I'm going to put the weapon first always. That's not what we really want you to do. I mean, in phase 1, we get it. Everybody needs their best from the raids. So this will more become a thing in phase 2, but I think about it for phase 1 too. Like if I ran, I know for Resto Druids, my pre-bis is a weapon from Shadow Labs. And let's say I ran Shadow Labs 100,000 times and that stupid weapon just never dropped for me. Uh, okay, well, I'm going to probably rank that weapon first for me because of my pre-bis gear. It's my biggest upgrade. Or let's say I got green boots for some reason. I could never replace my boots, or blue, whatever they are. I could never get my pre-bis boots. And all my other gear is absolute pre-bis, so I'm going to rank my boots first because that's my biggest upgrade. And so that's what we really want people to do here. We don't want you to just be a loot goblin. We're trying to end loot goblins. Like that's got to stop. We're not doing SR systems anymore for that reason. And you'll see as we go through how this will probably end up being better. Uh, anyways, yeah, like I said, you come in here, you rank your gear how you want it, whatever. And then once that's ranked, you would click save. But oh, you can type your recipes in here too. Receive, that's another thing you can do. If we run Karazhan and I won Staff of Infinite Mysteries, I could then after the raid come here and type in the name, uh, and then on the it would show me as received, and it would no longer be in my list, which you're about to see. But it doesn't. When you receive an item, it doesn't change the priority of your list. Like if this was number one for me and I received it, this item would still show as number two. It doesn't move you up a rank just because you won the item. Because obviously that would be cause chaos. We don't want that. So the order you rank your gear is the order you're expecting to receive it. That's pretty much how it's going to go. So then we would go to roster. And then now. So this is what it looks like. Now when you put in your list, no one's going to be able to see it until we lock the lists. So what's going to happen is, let's say we're going to raid March the 10th. It's a Tuesday, say, and it's going to be our first raid day. Well, we're probably like, okay, well, March 9th, we're locking the list. So that gives me and Shinada and Elf Killer, who I think is going to be our loot master. It's going to give us a day to go through the list and look, see what we got. Because then we can talk to people like, hey, you're a druid and you put Blood Maul Magus Blade as your number one. Well, you can't use swords, my guy. You got to get rid of that. You got to change it to something else. Or, hey, we see how you did your gear here, and we know what your gear looks like. You need to redo your list. Like, we don't like. We're trying to get rid of goblins. This is personal accountability, and we're trying to work as a team. Like, this is the big thing here. Everybody has to work together as a team. And if you're trying to goblin every time, it kind of throws everything off, and we don't want that. We want you to go off what your most priority gear is. Personally, I know that for Resto Druids, there's a couple items that are best in Phase 2 that are my best from Phase 1 as well. I'm probably going to rank those things pretty high because I'm going to need them longer than I will everything else. I'm not just going to put Light's Justice as my mace. I probably won't put that first because why would I? That's not going to be, I mean, it's going to be a huge benefit, of course, to get it. And, you know, running Karazhan, it's only going to be one other healer. So, okay, I don't care if the other healer gets it first because we're both going to get it eventually. It's not a big deal. Plus, them getting it helps me. And that's the thing you got to think about. Other people getting loot is not a bad. Oh no, I didn't get my loot. Somebody else got it, and that means we're gonna kill that boss faster. And so this is how it shows. Like, look, you got everybody ranked this. Even the mage put it first too. Whatever. Sometimes it's gonna happen. People are gonna put stuff first. Hey, look, even Tuya put Light's Justice first. Tell you what, Tuya just gobbling it up. What did I just say? I'm just kidding. And this is going to be a little interesting in the first phase too, because some things are coming out of Karazhan, some things are coming out of 25 mans. And like I said, you can kind of rank your stuff how you want. We're not going to mess with that too much, unless we see, hey man, like we know you just got this. We know you just got this sword. It's phase 2 now. Why are you like we've got 3 other people who didn't get a weapon in phase 1. You shouldn't be prioritizing this first. We know you didn't get a wand in phase 1. You should put your wand first. Like, what are you doing? We need you to not be a goblin and think, I need this, makes me go burr. What we want you to do is, what is my biggest upgrade? That needs to be first. We need you to get your biggest upgrade so you gear up evenly with we want everyone to gear up evenly as possible. So this is what it's going to look like. Nobody will be able to see this until we lock the lists, because we don't want you coming in here. Oh, look, 2, you put Aegis of Indicator. 2, I'm going to put it 1. Oh, she put, and you're like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice Light's Justice, but I'm going to beat 2 you on everything else. Like, we don't want that. So you won't be able to, officers will be able to see this stuff so we can pay attention to make sure people are putting their actual bits on there, things they can actually use. Because of course, we saw that a lot in Classic where people were SR and things that they weren't supposed to be, but we're going to make sure that doesn't happen this time. Plus, as a solid 25-man team where we're not having pugs all the time, this should be easier, and it should gear up a lot easier. So, now that you see this, I mean, you can see all the players, everybody here. That's the character I just made, but I didn't do a list because it doesn't matter. All this stuff is here. Oh, that's another one I made for another video, but whatever. All right, so then we go to loot. Let's go to Girls Lair. And now you can see the rankings. Because before it was you could see everybody's list, but now it puts each item, everybody that wanted it, and the order they ranked it on their list. So Bladespire Warband's drop, it goes to Warrior DPS. It's not Loot Council, we're not rolling, it's not anything. This is how we as a raid team ranked our own selves. Ducat and Swollen Kidney said, hey, we want these 8th best, their 8th best upgrade. Warrior DPS is like, I really need some bracers. I'll put those bad boys 4th. Well, guess what? Now Warrior DPS gets them. And that's how it would be. We wouldn't have to sit here and roll. We wouldn't have to worry about any of this stuff. It would just go to warrior DPS. Now, when we get to items like Belt of Divine Inspiration, both our Shadow Priests put it third. They tied for it. Now, this is where we have a couple options. We can roll them off, have them roll like Belt of nobody. I don't care who gets this. We really don't care. So they can roll for it, and whoever wins it wins it. And then okay, that just means Elf Lover say he wins, he receives it, and now Canada's Priest is next. That when it drops next, it just goes to them. Or something else we can look at doing is, we're trying to be an equitable raid team here. We're trying to help each other out. Well, let's say Elf Lover just got 3 BIS items in one raid right before we just came to do Girl's Lair. Okay, well, maybe Elf Lover should be like, hey, I just got a bunch of gear. Let Canada's Priest have it. Or, we could even be like, hey, Elf Lover, you just got all this gear. We're going to give this to Canada's Priest. And Elf Lover should understand. Like, yeah, bro, you just got a ton of gear. We're not going to let you roll for this because you just got a bunch of gear. We help somebody else out. And that's what we want from our raiders, too. We don't want y'all like all mad because, this other guy got something when you just got a bunch of gear. We're trying to spread the love around here. We want to make it fair for everybody. And it helps us if Elf Lover gets this too and gets a bunch of damage, but it also helps if a Canada Priest also gets gear. That's 2 people now doing a lot more damage. And it just makes it better for everybody. So you can kind of see how this stuff goes. Now, we will be loot canceling some items, like Dragonspine Trophy. 100% will be loot canceled. Now, before anybody says anything, just because y'all know this is Fenrir, that doesn't mean he's getting it first. I'm not saying anything like that. I just put him here because I thought his name was funny. So, and this over here just shows, I was trying to see what it would look like if he won it. So, Goth Lover had it ranked. Now, even if he ranked it 1 on it, first I have to say you have to put this, even though, like, say you're Janata down here, and I'm a rogue, I'm not getting Dragonspine Trophy for a while, you still have to put it on your list. You can't not put it on your list, because if you don't, you're never getting it. But it's your BIS. We know it's your BIS. We want to see it on your list. It's got to be on there somewhere. So this we're going to prio, and we're going to put this on here. We'll set this up. One person, whoever's turn it is to get it, and we're not making a list. This is something we're going to decide after the first one drops. It's going to go to, in this case, Canada's Hunter. We're going to give it to him, and then we're going to make a decision on who we think should get it next. And again, this is going off BIS, but hey, say Huntard, say it's best for hunters, and Huntard here he's showing up late, his gear's not enchanted, he doesn't have hardly any of his previous, he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Well, sorry, he's probably not going to be next. Even though he ranked at 1, and even though he's a hunter, he's probably not going to get it next because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So let's say for enhancement shamans, it's BIS next. This is the next best class. Well, okay, then maybe we go with this is Sepha, by the way, because he DI'd Thor on Nefarian. But maybe we pick him next. But because so y'all can pretty well tell who probably is going to get it next based on what it should be. So that's what we're going to do. And it's only for big items like this. Oh, and probably, I'll be honest, tank gear as well, probably. Not all the tank gear, but like for tokens, probably if they need to set bonuses huge, they really need it, then okay, we'll probably set a prio for the tanks to get it first, and then they still have to put it on their list. And maybe we prio these things, but maybe we set a prio for, say, Tankadin. He's prioed on all the the Paladin tier gear because he needs a set bonus. Well, he got his 2 set bonus. Then we could disregard. Let's say he got these are the shoulders. He got the gloves, the pants, and the helmet already. So he's got his 2 set, and the 4 set's just not as good. It's good, but it's not. We don't need him to have it right away. Okay, but we had him showed prio here, but we can just disregard it. We don't have to give it to him. Like this isn't a system that just gives it to him. We still have to loot the loot out to him. So we would just say, okay, he just got the 2 set. We just pried him on everything just so whatever dropped first he would get. And then after that, we just disregard the pyros. Probably after raid, we would come in and just take his name off the prio for it. Simple as that. So we're not, I know some people are afraid of loot council. And honestly, I think we've been pretty fair guild to this point. Well, like I said, we're not trying to loot council a whole lot of stuff here. We're not just super, we need tanks to get certain items, obviously. Certain items like Dragonspine Trophy that have to go to the right characters, or the right classes anyway. They need to go to certain people first. This just is what it is. I'm sorry. And then, yeah, you can see how things are ranked. You would rank it, and then, like here we are on Grunstitch Girdle. True Bear and Canada's Hunter ranked it 2nd. Okay. I don't personally care. I mean, True Bear is technically a tank, so maybe we take that into consideration. But I mean, I'm sure there's other items he would get over, that we could prio before we prioed him this. And maybe that's something else we could take into consideration too. Hey, he got prioed all the tier gear, so maybe we just go with Canada's Hunter on this one because he got prioed other gear. That way, he's not, oh, hey, all his prio gear dropped, but then so did all his other gear. That wouldn't be really fair for him to get literally everything. So even though I'm sure True Bear would disagree, he's like, hey, man, I want the gear. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it. You just make your character, you make your list. Once the list locked, it will rank everything for us, and then you can kind of see what you're going to get and win. If you have the Atlas Loot Classic add-on, you can go to the item, and it will tell you who's getting it first. If there's a prio on it, it will tell you that. But, I mean, this is the thing. You got to show up to raids to get your gear. You got to show up to raids on time. You got to show up to raids ready to go with all your consumables and stuff. And then, this helps us out. You want Resto Sham to get this token if he's first, because then you get it next. The more people get gear, the sooner you get it. The more people, it helps us. We kill stuff faster. And again, this is personal accountability. We didn't give you this gear except for certain items like Dragonspine Trophy and maybe some tank gear we talked about. Everything else is how you rank your gear. It is what it is. We're not choosing it. We're not putting people in order of what. It's just how you ranked your gear. So that's why I'm saying you really got to do your research and figure out what you want first. You shouldn't just goblin everything, because if you all tie, I mean, you're kind of screwing yourselves. Because if you, let's say all the healers put Light Justice first, or even in phase 2, it's Light Fathom Scepter. They all put it first, even though they don't need it. They just got the Bis weapon. And we got other guys over here who didn't get Bis weapons. I mean, that's kind of goblining, and we don't want that behavior. But if you did it, I mean, you're okay. All of you put it first. Well, I put something else first. Well, I'm going to get that thing because none of you wanted it. And I'm going to gear up all my gear because I'm not gearing up in a goblin way. I'm going, what is my biggest upgrades, and ranking it accordingly. And then I'm going to get that gear while everyone else is trying to goblin. I'm going to be one of the best geared healers on the server. And the rest of our healers are all trying to roll for gear because they've all put the same stuff, which I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But anyways, if anybody has any questions, you can kind of look at this and ask questions. I'm going to go over it with people. If at some point we'll all get together and go through it again, I guess. But I just kind of want to talk about this kind of stuff so everybody kind of sees what we're doing. I mean, you can come up here, you can click the different ones, Karazhan, and here it all is. We got an enchant. I mean, my expectation on this is probably we're going to pick an enchanter from each Karazhan raid, and that's who we're going to prio the enchants to. Or, I mean, what in the world? Oh my gosh, that ad didn't end. Okay, there it went. Okay, well apparently the ad's not going away. But anyways, that kind of explains it.